Hello and welcome back. For today on the Tacoma, we are looking at these, a kit of hood struts to hold up the hood in hopefully a way that is easier and more convenient than just having to pull that big old manual strut and put it in place and prop it up that way. So we have these gas-powered struts here that I've got from Amazon, and as usual, we're kind of doing this on a budget. These on the high end will cost you about $100 for the kit, and this is about a mid-range price. So not $100 and not the cheapest, but somewhere in the middle. I'll put a link in the description. We'll see how these go. But let's look at the instructions here. I find it interesting that the as you get them, the shocks or the struts themselves have this really strong kind of web belt here that's sewn together. I guess it keeps them tightly compressed. But let's take a look and see how the installation will go here. And for this and similar processes, if you don't already have one, you will need this, a riveter or rivet gun, because rivets are what is going to hold these mounting pieces in to your hood and your fender, not screws or anything else. And I didn't have one, so I took this opportunity to get one. They aren't too expensive. The main thing is that usually they have different size heads for the various rivets. This is one where it's kind of a multi-size, one-purpose head, so you don't have to change the heads out. You just kind of put the rivets in there. So there we go. But you will need one of these, and let's see how these work. I'll have to figure that out, as I've never used one before. Now the instructions that come with this set of hood struts are pretty good and oddly specific. So there's some things that you'll need to do. The very first thing it says is to measure from the beginning of the hinge on the hood and go up. And what's strange about it is go up for 16 inches exactly if you have the up to 2011 model, but 2012 to 2015 to go 16¼ inches. And so with mine being, I guess we could say, the generation 2A, not 2B, the earlier, I've measured up 16 inches right here. And again, I'm starting from the very edge of the hinge, pulling the measuring tape up right there to 16 inches and marking that. Now there are two types of mounting brackets, and they look kind of the same but a little bit different in shape. And to know which one to use, you just really have to look at the instructions here and make sure you're matching, getting the right one. And so this is going to go up here, right there along that edge. This mounting ball here points inside to the interior of the vehicle. And then the idea is to measure, I guess, from the edge of the hood and go over here 2 3/8 inches. And that's where the edge right here should go. Now it's a little bit weird to do because we're not measuring from here, but from the outside edge of the hood, but that should kind of give us somewhere like that. So I've got a bottom edge and a side edge for this bracket, which you get lined up right there like that. Now it's time to drill some holes. So just to make sure here, and double checking with the illustration, this is the bracket that goes on the hood. Narrower, 3 holes all lined up. And this is the bracket that would go on the fender. So it's wider like that, and its holes are spaced in a sort of a triangle there. So again, kind of similar, but we want to make sure we get the right bracket in the right spot. So with the concept of measure twice, cuss once, I've double checked my measurements here, and I've marked the holes through the bracket and where they're going to go. And now I'll take a center punch and just make a little start, because now it's time to drill into my hood. Now the instructions say to drill a 3/16 inch hole, or actually 3 of them. So I've got my 3/16 inch bit, and because I don't want to drill very far, and of course sheet metal is very thin, I'm putting some tape here to guard it. So the next thing to do now is just to get up there and drill those 3 holes to get ready for the rivets. Let's get going. Okay, so I've got the holes drilled, and even with that sort of tape guard on, when it goes through the sheet metal, it just punches right on through. So that doesn't really stop much. But anyway, you gotta make sure you stop and pull back as soon as it goes through. There's no real gradually working your way. It's either hole or no hole. So there they are, ready to go, and it's time for some rivets. Now this 3/16 inch hole is going to be a little bit tight, so to make sure the rivets can actually fit in there, you may need to sort of widen it around. Just kind of move the drill a bit back and forth, and just to widen them a little bit, those rivets will fit through nicely. And it's not necessary, but a little bit of touch-up paint on the bare metal, not a bad idea before you put everything together. Now I didn't know this, but this is how a rivet works. I kept thinking, well, gosh, this long end, where's that going to go? They go in like this, and so into the hole, they insert this short end like that, and that end's going to stop them right there. And the rivet gun's actually going to grab onto here and pull this metal rod through, and as it does, it's going to pull this head up right there and squeeze and close that hole and tighten. And the rivet gun will also snap off this rod so that you leave just the rivet itself holding things in place. So that's how the rivet works. It inserts like that. So this is the part that inserts into the rivet gun. I've got it opened up here, as you can see, and this part will go in right like that all the way. And then the idea is you squeeze the handle until it sort of sucks up this metal rod, and then we'll eventually snap it or break it off or something. So I've never used this manner of riveting. This will be a fun time to try it out and see how it goes. So it took 3 hard squeezes. On the third one, I heard a little pop, and it cut off that rod there. They were nice enough to actually make this part of the rivet black, so I guess it blends in a little bit better with this bracket. So I've got one rivet in, my first ever. Now it's time for the other 2. And after that snap, that big long rod just falls right out, and you're ready for the next one. And this hole didn't quite work for me. Middle hole looks good, but this one doesn't, so I'm going to have to just sort of re-drill that, widen it out a little bit so I can get the rivet in there. And there it is, the first bracket in with 3 rivets. Now this middle one is a little bit difficult because this connection point here has a bit of a piece here that kind of sticks out. So I had to kind of twist and kind of finagle the end of the rivet gun in, but I was still able to get those. And so that looks to be nice and secure. And the instructions say to measure from this bolt head right here on your fender toward your firewall, and to measure that 7 1/4 inches from the center of the bolt head. Something like that. Measure 7 1/4 inches and mark that up here. Now we can't really put the bracket on this part right here, this little thin metal part. It's got to go right here on this inside of the fender. The space here does seem a little bit tight. This bracket is a little bit easier to kind of position because you just have to measure against that 7 3/4 inch mark and just kind of place it sort of right there in the fender, like so. Now the strange thing here is this overhang. How it's going to be to put those rivets in. That'll be an interesting thing to see. That's what we should look like right there. Now what's happening here is just what I feared. I got this rivet in here, but we have 1 and 2 here. They're just not quite reachable because of this lip hanging out. So kind of strange. I could barely get the drill in there, and with the rivet gun, even less so. So I think what my idea to attack this is to remove this bolt here and this connector right here for this plastic piece, and then just pry and bend this lip up as much as I can to fit those in there, and then try and push it back into position. I think that's the only way I can think of to get those rivets in there. Okay, I hated doing this, but I've removed this bolt here and the plastic retaining clip here, so I could just take this thin piece of metal and really bend it up, and now I can have room hopefully to get that, that last rivet, last two rivets, and get this part in here like that. But I think this kind of thing is what you might have to do. Even so, these are at a bit of an angle, and I had to re-drill these holes. Somehow things weren't quite matching up. There is again this ball, this post this sits on, kind of comes out a little bit and holds that out there. But that's in. One bracket for the bottom on the fender, and one on the top for the hood. Now just pop in the whole strut here. Now the gas tube goes up, and that's the thicker part, and the rod coming out goes down and just kind of pops in there. What's interesting is it actually holds it a good bit higher than your usual hood support here. So there's my hood support, and it will no longer reach where it used to go. So anyway, we've got one in, and now I just need to bend back that piece of the fender. But yeah, it should be the same thing for the other side. Alright, that wasn't a whole lot of fun trying to bend this back down and put the bolt back in after I kind of messed up all this. And there's got a little bit of a little bump right there. Maybe I can try and force that down a bit more, tap it down with a mallet or something. But anyway, it's all in, and it looks pretty good. Haven't closed the hood yet, of course, but we'll see. Anyway, this is probably the most troublesome part, is dealing with this overhang right here. And after removing that bolt, which is, see right there, this is just how I bent this piece up, just really brute force, just grab a big wrench and pull it up there. So now I've got the other side in, and I'm just kind of trying to bend things down, get them back sort of where they were, although it doesn't probably matter too much, but I do want to get that bolt to fit in there. Now putting the actual struts is pretty easy. Just kind of take this peg here, just pop it in. If you ever have to replace them, you do have to kind of pull this piece out. That holds the peg in securely. They'll pop in easily, but they won't really come off. So if you ever want to replace these struts, if they wear out, you have to kind of pull this little metal retaining clip out a little bit, then they can come off. And now we'll have to turn this around here a bit. There we go. And just pop this on right here. Yeah, a bit of a two-handed process. But now it's on. I don't need this support anymore. I could take it out, I guess. But I'll just kind of put it back in place. And sort of leave it there. And there it is. Again, held up a little bit higher than usual, which is cool. And let's pull the hood down. There we go. And when it goes up like that. I'd say a really good addition for not a whole lot of money. So with the new hood struts installed, I'll open the hood up, and look, it just pops up like that. Really pretty nice and handy. So for less than $50, this is a great addition. And one thing I would say is that this is a little bit weird over here. It kind of slid over a bit, I guess, when I was making the holes. And so I might suggest, instead of measuring from the edge of the hood 2 3/8 inches, maybe measure just 2 inches for this line right there and try and get this mounting bracket on a nice flat part. I think that'll work a little better. But anyway, not too bad of installation, and a worthy addition. Really makes things easier, especially when working on the Tacoma.